I'm Kieran. Um, yeah, um, yeah. So the terrible decision, obviously, as you can see here with 48 points, was no Bruno. I went for Martial instead after his hat trick. And yeah, if I just had Bruno, my team would have been fine. To be honest, my team score would have been all right, and I would have done okay. But I've little spoiler for later. I've already rectified the mood. Already got Martial out for Bruno. So um, had to do it. I had the exact money as well. So yeah, I just stupid decision. And I owned Bruno from I think week 2 since he got here, and I've been enjoying him the whole time. So why I ever got rid of him was just dumb, really. So yeah, Bruno's back in, and yeah, 48 points. I think it was a game week rank of like in the 4 millions, which is obviously dreadful. I dropped from 25k to 48k. Um, yeah, so and now I've used my free hit, my wild card, all my chips are gone, and I've basically put 2 red arrows out of them. And so yeah, the chip season's supposed to be good, and it's certainly not been good for me this year, unfortunately. People are saying you're muted, by the way. Hopefully you're not. Can anyone hear him now?
Yeah,
You want to speak now?
maybe talking to myself. There we go. I think we're online. All right, okay. Well, you were doing a little bit there. We're not going to redo the whole intro. But I just asked
No.
Kieran about your wild card because you've just been talking about it there. I think your team's pretty good. I'd envy you having players like Pulisic this weekend. I mean, who do you really dislike? I think it was just an unlucky week that majority of your players didn't score well. I still think you got a good team.
Honestly, it was just Martial. So I've taken him out, put Bruno straight back in, and yeah, I'm still happy with my squad. Other than maybe Calvert-Lewin, but I actually think his fixtures are pretty good still. And Spurs have looked absolutely awful. So that they had some absolutely woeful defense. I don't think I've seen worse defending for that second goal. It was absolutely atrocious. So yeah, I think DCL might be able to do something. Richarlison had a bit of a knock, but I think he's fit or should be fit. So yeah, shouldn't affect Calvert-Lewin in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, Calvert-Lewin is stinking up my team a bit, but I would back him to do all right with the rest of their fixtures. Because yeah, after Spurs, it's Southampton, Wolves, Villa, Sheffield United, and Bournemouth. Those are good fixtures. So
Yeah.
I think he's possibly still just a season keeper, even though he's not been doing well. I think he will get some goals soon, hopefully.
I think I was equally disappointed because, like you said, they started with those 2 goals really quick succession against Leicester. But after that, the majority of the game seemed to be going Leicester's way. And I think Everton did well to hold on. And I don't think Calvert-Lewin had much goal action. But he's had 2 tricky fixtures at home in Leicester and Liverpool, who both had a lot to play for at the time meeting them. It was just that Norwich game which was a bit of let down. I think he had, maybe like 6 shots in the box in that game, and yeah, to not get any returns makes it look like a bad run. But I still think Spurs is a tricky game, despite how poor they looked against Sheffield United. But after that, those games between now and the end of the season, I do think he's got the potential to do well there. At the same time, Ings getting that brace against Watford wasn't good timing. I've seen a lot of transfers in this week, despite he's got City this weekend. Do you think that was unusual?
I mean, he could still score. Like City have given up the most big chances of all teams over these first 3 weeks. Is it something? I guess 4 games for City because of the double. But yeah, so I don't see why Ings couldn't do something. I wouldn't imagine him definitely to, but he's definitely got the track record of doing well, and he's obviously on form at the moment. So I think it sort of makes sense that their fixtures are kind of rough, but but yeah, why not go with
Hasenhüttl,
form on him?
yeah,
There's no one
Hasenhüttl.
else to really choose from either. So
Yeah, true. Hasenhüttl really backed him as well, didn't he? Saying Ings is chasing the golden boot. He's got 6 games or so to do it. He's going to have 6 opportunities to score. So yeah, I kind of like that endorsement from his manager, and especially after watching Rashford on Tuesday, that was probably something to pick up on our teams. It'd be interesting on the chat. Everyone just post and say who you captain this weekend, because I think it was because there was quite a lot of diverse games with United playing Brighton and then Liverpool meeting Man City. There was quite a lot of different captaincy, so I'm sure we're going to have some interesting ones. Aubameyang as well annoyed me on, was that Wednesday evening? We just gifted those 2 goals against Norwich. I mean, fair play to all the managers that stuck with him through that double and had him before, but I mean, if that isn't the luckiest...
The people who had
couple
him,
of goals.
It made sense. It made sense.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I was talking to FPL Connecties in the chat. He wildcarded and to keep Aber as well, just for this week, and then to sell Aber on for this week, which completely made sense. It's Norwich who've been absolutely awful, haven't they? So, yeah, if I had hindsight, I would have done it that way as well. But yeah, I don't have the funds. My team value is quite poor, so I couldn't get Aber in if I even wanted to be honest.
I've seen a lot of people talk about the aggressive captaincy plays, and some people even take -4s just to get Aubameyang in for that game week, take advantage of a big captain. It seems like such a me as a more conservative player, I'd never do that sort of thing. But when it goes right for you, just picking on the worst team in the league and playing the striker that's had a rest, and to bag that sort of points is great.
It's funny as well. We mentioned like never actually actively bet against Norwich, but then a lot of people did that week and it actually worked out. But in previous, when I backed Everton, obviously on my free hit the week before, they did absolutely nothing and Norwich did well. But sod's law, I suppose.
It is. I had a slightly better game week just purely from having Bruno. So like you, I had Rashford captain. I was just so disappointed with his performance. Really didn't look that interested. We were chatting about it as we were watching, and it just feels like maybe it's his back injury, maybe it just I'm not giving him enough slack to get back in momentum yet. But he just didn't look like he was prepared to take players on or get in the box and have or shoot himself. Like a lot of the play went through him, admittedly, but the number of times that he'd have the ball passed into his feet, he'd stop, sort of square up the defender and pass it back inside. There was no moments, I don't think, especially in the first half, where he really drove at that Brighton defence and looked to be having a shot. So I was a bit disappointed in that captaincy pick, really. And hindsight, it just makes you think there's plenty of other options or players who had been performing well and might have been a better pick somewhere else. Regardless, still had the 58 points. I had a 23k red arrow. But I'm quite pleased. Since we've had the restart, to get from my abysmal 760 odd thousand ranks, we're back up in 370 now, so it's about 4,000 places, and I'm 24 points outside that, which is still very low for me, like top 250k target. I'll take that between now and the end of the season. I've still got my free hit to play, which I might play this weekend, but I'm sure there'll be a bit of movement.
Yeah, I mean, looking at captaincy for me, obviously we spoke about you just spoke about Rashford, but there was no one else really in my team that I considered. I wasn't going to captain De Bruyne against Liverpool. So Salah blanked as well. I mean, Pulisic, great, but I didn't even know if he was definitely going to start.
Yeah, that was a good
because he had that knock. So yeah, my whole team, I would have blanked regardless on captaincy, even if I had I didn't have Bruno. So
you went early
I suppose. But...
Yeah, you went early on Pulisic. You must be feeling quite pleased about that one because he's now sort of a bit the flavour of this game week. Like I think Willian is maybe William and Pulisic are maybe in the top 5 transfers in for this home game against Watford, and you might maybe got a price rise out of him already, so you must be quite pleased about him.
Yeah, I mean, he looks solid. Looks integral to their attack, as does Willian, I suppose. But those two alongside Giroud or Abraham, they look good. So I think Pulisic is probably the better pick overall, just because I think William relies on penalties and sort of free kicks, whereas Pulisic is going to score from open play. So yeah, at 7.1, I think he is now, or 7, is that? Yeah, I can't remember his price, but anyway.
I think they're both 7.1 now.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's a decent price, and he's he's in for the next few at least, and then I can possibly move him on to Mahrez eventually. So yeah, I think it's a good price point.
Yeah, I had a little look because I mean if I'm going to play the free hit, I'm going to bring in one of those two, but it is quite difficult to choose between them at the moment. Like you say, Willian's got the set pieces locked down with the free kicks, penalties on some corners, but in general open play, Pulisic looks quite good. He's getting more central positions, he's taking more shots in the box, he's having more activity and spending more time in the box as well. I think penalties have inflated Willian's XG a little bit to make him look better in that regard, but I still think that's quite close. I think it's a difficult one to call. I do quite like Williams sort of assured starts, like the fact he's played consistent 90s for quite a long time. He seems quite secure in his position, whereas Pulisic's come off a few times at 70, and I don't know, that extra, you never know what can happen in the last sort of 20 minutes of a game against a tired team you might already be beating. So it's a tricky one. If I was looking to bring one in this weekend, it would really be a toss-up. I think that they're so similar. I think it's just personal preference almost.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I did tweet that saying about Willian, like everyone who didn't really have him before, like what's really changed? Like, what's the reason to buy him now, other than he's hit a bit of form? Like he always does this. It's kind of like Martial goes very hot and cold. So, yeah, it's just for me. I think Pulisic is going to be more well-rounded. We've seen him go off the boil as well, but at the moment, I'm going to back him to do well, and he's on form. So yeah.
All right, should we talk about what do you want to talk about first? Captaincy or key players for this game week?
Let's go Captaincy because a lot of people are asking about it, and it's probably
it's a head scratcher.
The hardest thing to choose this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So okay, I'll talk about my first one, which is Salah. My armband is on Salah at the moment. He's at 36% owned, which is probably the lowest we've seen him TSB for a long time, to be honest. 12.6 million, obviously still expensive, but so Klopp was furious in his press
wasn't he?
Post press conference, sorry. So it looks like they're going to want a reaction. He's had some comments today about not playing all the kids and all that. They'll get 20 minutes and stuff like that.
I saw that,
but, it looks like it's going to be sort of first teams with some rotation of 20 minutes at the end of the game. Looks possibly Trent coming out for Neco Williams like he did against City and that sort of thing. So if it's a full strength squad against Villa at home for Salah, I think that's a no-brainer pick if you obviously have him. I think Mane is a great pick too. But yeah, home record this season. So I'm just going to call out all of Salah's scores at home this season. It's kind of crazy, right?
Okay.
So he's had 12, 15, 9, 2, 7, 8, 16, 3, 10, 7, 16, 7, 9, 11. So he's blanked twice at home all season, and the rest of them have all been basically double digits.
That is good.
So that's crazy consistency. And yeah, at home to Villa, who are a struggling team, obviously they're going to try their hardest, but Klopp is going to want a reaction, and I think it's just seems like a bit of a not a no-brainer when obviously United are facing Bournemouth, but if you have Salah, I think it's there to go for.
And I think Villa have been poor, so they've only had one clean. I think they're yet to keep, in fact, a clean sheet on the road this season, and they conceded 33 goals, of which the worst away defence in the league. I think it's only West Ham who've allowed more their opponents more big chances. I think Villa have had or conceded 48 big chances, and West Ham conceded 50. So, I mean, their defence is. I mean, it's been better since the restart, admittedly, but overall, in general, if the right Liverpool turn up, I think it could be another big score. Like, I mean, Palace rocked up to Anfield on the back of some good defensive performances and still got 1-4-0. So, I mean, Liverpool can just turn the switch. I think the City one's an interesting one from a form point of view because it was a huge blip for Liverpool. They'd had the week of celebrating the title, and they just turned up and looked like City wanted it a lot more. But I think Klopp's going to have them fired out. It's their first game back at Anfield since winning the league in God knows how many years, and they're just going to want to put on a performance. I know no one will be there, but I think that the idea of them being at Anfield or back there being champions is quite a big motivation to go and put on a show and show people why you are the champions.
True. I mean, Ashley Young in the chat. I wonder if it's the real Ashley Young.
Definitely live tweeting from
oh, yeah,
Milan.
for sure. Is saying he thinks Mane might be rested and things. So I don't know if that will affect Salah's output. Probably not, because I think Salah actually does better when Mane isn't in the team. So
yeah.
So yeah, I like Salah. So yeah, I mean the reverse fixture against Villa, he had only 2 points and only played 64 minutes. So maybe that's an omen, maybe not. But that was a way where he hasn't done as well this year. So since the restart, he's had 9 shots, an XG of 0.92, 4 key passes, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 big chance, and 1 big chance created. But versus City, he had 4 shots, 3 inside the box, 2 key passes, and hit the post. So if that had gone in, I think Salah was still the top captain this week. He would have hurt a lot of us if that had gone in, but it would have been a decent score again and a different game. But yeah, like you said, Villa have conceded 46 shots since the restart, which is 17th worst. But their XGC is only actually 3.3, and they've only conceded 4, which is not bad.
Yeah.
And they've only conceded 3 big chances as well. So that's a little worry for the Salah captaincy. Yeah.
No, I'm quite confident I'm going to leave it on him. I mean, there are some other appealing options in Bruno and KDB, but I sort of worry a little bit about United's assets after Ole said there might be some rotation. I mean, I doubt it's going to be Bruno because how important he is. But what does that mean for the other players around him? Who gets rested and in what positions? How does that affect the overall team? I can't imagine it being big
might
changes.
be like Pogba. It might be Pogba for a rest for someone. It might be like Williams in for sure. Like the rest of the team, I don't think gets changed.
Yeah.
Honestly, but he said a couple of people picked Knox up, but who got Knox? Who like Knox aren't exactly taking people out, or taking people out the lineup. So
and Bruno did get brought off early, didn't he, against Brighton? He had like a 20-minute rest at the end of the game. So on him, I think he's an interesting, almost a differential captaincy this week because I think he's still under 25%, might be around 22. So his 2 goals against Brighton took his total to 3 goals since the restart. I think Maddison is the only one who's taken more shots than his 11. And amazing. It is amazing, isn't it? And how poor Maddison's been. He's blanked in his last 15 games now. I think Fernandes also looks like a good long-term pick after this weekend because United's fixtures. But I just think he looks like a really... It's a tidy pick. His points per game is higher than Salah's since he came to the league, which is
8.1 points per match.
Yeah, which is slightly better than Salah's managed, but I still don't have the confidence to put it on them, even against a team as woeful as Bournemouth, where we saw St. Maximin running rings around even before last.
You don't have the confidence of Bruno to
I really
put it
don't. Well, just because case in point is just because of the Sheffield United game. Like I know he's been playing really good, but the Sheffield United game, a home fixture where lots of people went in on him for captaincy, but probably for the first time. I think that was like his highest captaincy percentage of the season. And he had like an unexpected blank at home. He played well in that game, but I wonder if he's performing better in away games, and maybe he sits back a tiny bit more at home. I don't know. It's just at
this point, does it?
No, I know it's just a slight bit to put me off him. I don't know. I mean, are you pretty set on Salah? You're not thinking Bruno at all?
Well, Vice is on Bruno. Do you want to bring up our teams for next week?
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, Vice is on Bruno at the moment, so I'm certainly thinking about him. So his returns since he joined have been 6, 14, 10, 6, 9, 3, and 15. So he's only blanked once, other than the first game where he played CDM, which I'm not counting.
Right.
And that has included games against City, Everton, Spurs, so that they've not been easy games, all of them anyway. So like you said, second for most shots of all mids with 11. First for shots on target was 6. 2 big chances, 4 key passes, 1 big chance created, an XG of 1.81, an XA of 0.71 with 27 points. So he looks good right now, and I bet that he probably gets a penalty in this game. I think he probably returns that way, or possibly an assist from a free kick or a corner. That's how I'm betting he gets a return this week. So, but he just looks so good. Like that, his second goal could have easily been Rashford. Rashford was like there, or just to get on the end as well. So I don't know. He's consistent. Let's just put it that way. I think he'll probably get some sort of form of points. And if you're happy to captain him for some points against Bournemouth, then that sounds good. Yeah. So Bournemouth wise, they've had 6 big chances conceded, 29 shots conceded compared to sort of Villa's, which was 46. So that's not obviously nowhere near as bad. Their XGC is 3.75 with actually 7 conceded, so that's bad, and 3 defeats in a row since the restart. Played some kid on the side of the defense. I think it was Rico's side last week. Yeah. So I've got down here on the beach, literally and figuratively. So, it looks like it should be a United win, easy, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. United are going to be a big win here. I've got a lot of. I just asked in the chat who people are captaining. FPL DB says he's going to go Bruno. We've got Sakid who's saying Salah. Alexander Choi said Martial. So there's variation.
Nobody's saying Rashford.
No, I know.
I expected some Rashfords because I've been seriously considering Rashford.
Oh, really? After that Brighton performance?
Well, yeah, I know he was pretty bad, but I don't know. Maybe it's just his turn to haul.
I've actually supplied.
I know football doesn't work like that, but
pass it around.
Yeah, it just feels like he looks like he was super happy in training picks and stuff, and I don't know, just there's something saying that the gut feeling is there for Rashford this thing.
See that's nice. I don't even want to talk you out of it. That you've just seen a picture of Rashford looking happy. You're like, put the armband on him.
Yeah, that's nice guy.
We've got someone say Hamza saying triple captaincy on Bruno. I quite like that pick as well, because I think that if you've got the triple captaincy left, I think Man City still got Norwich to play on the final day of the season, maybe. That could be an opportunity for triple captain. But also, I think this game week's another good one for triple captain. So United against Bournemouth, a great looking fixture, and I think Liverpool against Villa is a great one as well. So, really
there's
good.
A lot. There's City versus Southampton. I don't think Southampton.
Yeah,
there's City out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So assuming De Bruyne plays, I think he's a great captain potential to TC. And I think Mahrez, obviously, he didn't start and has returned crazy. I think he's a great option as well, assuming he plays. But this is Pep. Like, we have seen him, Mahrez has started 3 in a row, then benched. It's not without sort of in the realms of possibility that he is benched again. Like, I think that's happened to me when I've owned him this season. Like, we expect him to play because he didn't play the last one and he's still benched. So, there is that worry still.
I quite like that Jacko has gone out on KDB because, I mean, highest owned player in the game, another haul against the best defence in the league just last night. Does he play again this Sunday? He played 90 minutes against Chelsea, 90 minutes against Liverpool. I don't know. He played a lot of the Newcastle game in the FA Cup. I'm not sure exact minutes, but I know he took part in that one. So he's played a lot of football recently.
That's why I'm not vice captain.
Yeah, he had that rest, didn't he, in that Burnley game as well? Like, we didn't come on maybe for the last 20 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe Pep's gonna save him for another game week. Doesn't want to wear him out. Have you had no thoughts from you then about Kevin captain?
No, I don't think so. But I obviously, if he starts, he's obviously a great option. So you just gotta guess. I think we don't know what Pep's gonna do. So.
Okay.
Right.
I think.
Is there any other?
Well, I was going to say the only other really punty one is Pulisic. Right. This is really punty. So since the restart, he's had 4 FPL goal involvements, 2 goals, 2 assists. Only Foden, Martial. I love that Foden's on this list. Only Foden, Martial, Willian, and Bruno have scored more goals from midfielders from the restart. He's taken 6 shots in the box in the last 3 matches. I love this stat as well. Of only Antonio 7. Davis, I think that's the Aston Villa one, and Richarlison all with 8 faring better. Chelsea doing well from attacking point of view, so they've had 6 goals since the restart of only United and Arsenal, who have got 7. Newcastle 8, and City 9. Why have we not got Sam Maximan, Kieran? We'll talk about that. We need a separate show for some Sam Maximan loving. But so I just think Chelsea look good. Watford, on the other hand, woeful. So they've conceded 5 goals. Since the restart. Only West Ham, Sheffield United, both 6, Bournemouth 7, and Norwich 8 have conceded more. People are going to be looking in the comments, laughing at my team, seeing Sarr on my bench. Like this has been a bad punt. The games like who did they play? Southampton. I was thinking, and Burnley. I was like, yeah, Sarr, tasty differential, less than 2%. Surely they're gonna he's gonna do something because they need to stay up. Nope, they are just that bad. And Sarr is just like a really small piece of their crumbly jigsaw. So I've kept Saar this week thinking, oh yeah, Norwich at home, but I don't even know if I want to keep him for a Norwich game. The fact that he's in my team is making me think, oh, maybe I'm going to free hit this weekend and get Pulisic and Mahrez in instead. So yeah, that's my Watford and Saar thoughts at the moment. So yeah, Pulisic may be a differential captain, but when there's so many other premiums who got some good fixtures, it's hard to put the armband on him. Yeah.
Okay, so key players. I'll move on.
All right. Okay, we're moving on.
You did mention Alan St. Maximan.
I did.
Yeah, huge value right now. Consistent enough to start each week, possibly, if you have him. I think he's only like 5.3. I actually haven't got that down for some reason. But second behind KDB for XA of 1.43 all mids, which is obviously very good. 6 shots, 1 big chance, 5 key passes, 3 big chances created, 3 assists and 1 goal. Obviously, the 3 assists in the last game. And you only need to kind of watch him to see his sort of, he just looks like an absolute menace, like sort of like Traore, but without the massive muscles. Like he just runs at you and just looks super entertaining when he does it. So Gameweek 29, obviously just before the shutdown, he had 10-point haul. Since the restart, he had 10 points, 2 points, and 15 points. So he looks good, and their fixtures are still pretty good too. So yeah, possibly alongside Foden, like a really good 5th mid sort of player if you want to go to the 5 in the midfield. I think he's a great pick, so why not?
Yeah.
I've wanted to own him like basically all season. I've just never got around to him, and possibly one. Assuming their fixtures are good next year, he might be starting in my team because he's just got potential, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I like him. I hope he doesn't have the David Brooks treatment where he's like shows a bit of form at the end of the season. And FPL are 6.5 million, lovely. Because
he will be now, 100%.
Yeah, he's 5.5 at the moment, and I think he started the season there as well, actually. So
people are saying Jared Bowen for Saar as well.
Maybe
in the chat. Maybe their fixtures aren't that bad, West Ham.
That's one to look into. I was thinking of moving some money around and just getting a Chelsea mid, but maybe Bowen could be a little option there.
Like it.
How much is he? 6'4", isn't he? Something around there.
I think he's probably cheaper, but anyway. So people are asking about Alonso as well in the chat. Like, I very close wanted him on my wild card. Okay, so because their fixtures are good, but conceding 3 to West Ham, dodged a bit of a bullet, I think, and I think he played poorly against West Ham as well. He was berated on the sort of analysis on the TV. So, just Kepa looked awful as well, so I think their defense is there for the taking in most games, honestly. So I don't think there's many clean sheets, unfortunately. And 6.2, I think he is. So it looks overpriced. So another key player, Foden, right?
Talk to me about
5.3 million, 2.6% owned. That's only going to go up. He looks like a great 5th mid choice. Another case of like Mahrez, when he starts, he gets points. So since the restart, he's had 6, 16, 0. So there's that rotation coming in with 0, and then the 12 points. That's pretty crazy for someone at 5.3 million in a City team. I mean, at 8.5 of Mahrez, people are just like, oh yeah, just going to deal with rotation. At 5.3 million, what's the harm if you're just going to deal with rotation, and he's going to get points, right? So, I think he most likely will come in for me at some point because I really can't afford Mahrez if I want to keep Pulisic.
Yeah.
So,
City's fixtures are so points. Good, aren't they?
They're amazing. He's only second in points behind KDB of all mids since the restart. And at 5.3 million, obviously, again, that's crazy good. He's 34 points. His stats have been 8 shots, 6 on target, 2 big chances, an XG of 1.56, 4 goals, 2 assists, 4 goals, which is the highest of everyone as well. 6 key passes, 2 big chances, and he looks amazing. So I think next year, when David Silva's gone, if he's a starter, he probably has to be nailed in a lot of teams, right? 7 million, 7.5 million next year.
Maybe.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's interesting that Pep's giving him a little run now that Sane's definitely off. and just
and I always thought he was going to be a
it.
bit deeper too, but he's actually sort of playing in a front three role, which to harp on, but 5.3 million a City midfield who just score for fun. That's absolute bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good. No, I've been really impressed with him. Like, his link-up play in the Liverpool game the other night, and I mean, if you're going on sizes of smiles on players' faces, after Rashford, Foden's got a big one when he scores. So I do quite like him. And now, being serious, I think he looks a smart player and a good price as well. Maybe if I was going to get rid of Sarr and I'd double up on these City mids for their fixture run, which of course after Southampton they got Newcastle at home, Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, Watford away, Norwich at home. I mean, it's just dilly dong, isn't it? Really, in fantasy football terms. Let's get on more of our attacking assets. So, yeah, he could be a really good option to go to.
And then there's someone else I want to mention. I'm not sure I want to mention him because I want to keep him to myself. But Eric Garcia, okay, the centre back for City, 4.5 million, 0.1% owned, and he's possibly first choice, right?
Yeah.
So obviously he started the first game when he obviously got wiped out by Edison. Injured since, but they didn't concede any goals in that first game when he was on. And then he's come straight back in when he's fit against Liverpool, possibly the hardest test he could have.
Yep.
And he's kept a clean sheet again. So they have given up 11 big chances, but that's since he's not played. In the first game, they only gave up one big chance, which he played. And then against Liverpool, they only gave up 3 big chances, but that's Liverpool against Salah and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. So at 4.5%, if you're getting, 4.5 million, getting possibly a trickle of 6 points each week from him at 4.5 million from a City defender, that sounds great to me. It's possibly taking up a City spot, but I'm very tempted because I'm hating the look of Aurier in my squad right now. So 4.5 million.
I've just had a look at
it. Seems really good to me because I don't think anyone convinced me that he's not nailed on right now. Right?
No, well, he's when he's been fit since the restart they've played. I've just had a look back at his minutes for this season. So he's completed 90 minutes 4 times this season, and 3 of those times he's kept a clean sheet. So I think if he starts again this weekend against Southampton, you'd think that he's got the nod over both Otamendi and Stones for that partnership with Liverpool.
Stones is not even in the look-in, I don't think. So it's Fernandinho possibly, but he's got a red card. So
yeah, he could be really interesting. Maybe, I mean, like I say, I'm sort of thinking about doing like a really last-minute free hit this game week to capitalise on, or just to basically get rid of Sarr and DCL. And I think he is a really nice enabler to get some City coverage and defence. And if it doesn't pay off, you're still going to have money in the bank there to have a decent replacement coming, because he's not the type of player that's ever going to get subbed in. So yeah, I like that, Kieran. I like it a lot. I was going to say another.
Seems low risk, honestly.
Yeah, it does seem low risk.
Carry on.
Yeah, I was just going to say on the other City side of things, I feel like we're talking all their key players up this weekend, but I just wanted to highlight Sterling before this Southampton game. So he's got a really good record against Southampton. So he's scored twice and provided 3 assists in his previous 3 meetings with them. He's still quite pricey at 11.7 million. So if you're going to double up on that City midfield or attacking force, he is a bit of a heavy investment there, considering he's still $1 million more expensive than De Bruyne. But yeah, since they've come back in the games he started, he's had 3 attacking returns, 2 goals and 2 assists. 4 attacking returns, 2 goals and 2 assists. I think he's got 28 points from the 4 games. So yeah, or 3 games even, because he didn't get any minutes against Burnley. So yeah, Sterling's come back with a bit of a point to prove on this sort of mini season until the end. Maybe he could be a good option, but he's pricey. I think there's a lot of investment opportunities in City at the moment for this run in, and it's just fitting the right one in. I feel like we've been talking about United a lot for these last 2 weeks, and I feel like maybe after this Southampton game, if they follow it up performing as well as they did against Liverpool and knowing what their fixtures are like after that, I think the investment is going to turn very quickly from United to City players. So if you can get in advance of that, if it is a Foden, a Mahrez, Sterling, or even Garcia before this weekend, and one of them pops off, then they could be really good for your rank.
I mean, if you can afford Laporte as well, he seems to get sort of taken off around the 65-ish mark. So if he can nail on a clean sheet and get taken off, knowing that he'll probably start the next game, that's not bad either. So
yeah, I like it.
yeah, like that too. But he's expensive, and in my case, I'd probably have to take out Doherty for him, which I obviously don't like particularly. So yeah, so our lineups. I mean, you've got Lascelles, who's now an injury risk. I do as well.
I didn't know about that until we just came on. How bad is it? Is it?
He said it's a knock, and he's got 48 hours until the game. But so he's going to see basically. So I would like to start him instead of Aurier, obviously, because Aurier and Spurs are shocking right now. But I think maybe it's low. But West Ham have looked better, obviously. So I don't really see a clean sheet there, to be honest. So, but I think it's probably a better chance for clean sheet than it is for Aurier against Everton. Maybe I'm not sure. So
you're not going to make any more moves, are you? Your team's pretty locked in now. You're not going to take a hit this week, are you?
It's just who decide to play out of Aurier and Lascelles, basically.
Yeah. No, I think that's a tricky one. If I had those two, I'd probably just back Aurier for the attacking threat, but at the same time, because I kind of think they'll both concede, and maybe he'll get something going forward. West Ham, I mean, the fact that West Ham scored 3 against Chelsea and they're fighting to stay up, they're going to go. I mean, Newcastle good at home, admittedly.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. Well, my decisions for the transfers this week is a bit more difficult. I wanted to get Wan-Bissaka in because I watched the Brighton game. I thought he actually looked good. He's risen twice since this game week happened. He's 5.5 million now, so I've missed one sneaky one last night, which is quite irritating. But he's produced an assist and clean sheet in his last 2 game weeks, 21 points total in that time. It feel like with Pogba and Bruno and Matic giving some stability to that midfield, Wan-Bissaka is hot on the edge of the box right now, and I kind of feel there's more opportunities for him to get assists. We already know what a darling is for the bonus. I kind of think like it's an instant reward as well, because Bournemouth are going to turn up at Old Trafford like they did at Molineux the other week and just sit in and play deep, and they weren't very creative. And I think if they play like that against United, it's pretty much looking good for a clean sheet. So I think he'd get the returns. Probably Fernandes.
So not Lascelles.
No, not Lascelles.
Is it just because of the money that Fernandes is?
Just because of the money. And then if Lascelles is injured, I'm going to have to swap Basham to first bench. I just look at I just don't like a 4-3-3. I like looking at a 3-4-3 formation, more investment and attack. I don't know what it is. It just looks rubbish on the screen.
I like a 4-3-3. I think it looks great.
I don't like it. It just looks like all my points are going to be wiped out by 1 goal. That's what I think when I see that. It depresses me. So
does anyone else play FPL by what their formation looks like?
I only like looking at 5-3-2, and Anyway,
5-3-2 is the way to go. The flying V.
It nearly turned into a 5-3-2 because at the start of the game week I was so irritated with Calvert-Lewin. I was like, Basham's playing. We're playing 5-3-2.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah,
so was I. But Spurs have looked so bad. I was like, I'm going to have to play Calvert-Lewin because of how bad in defence they are. I think surely Jose has to play one of Vertonghen and Alderweireld this week, surely, instead of Dyer.
You'd think so, unless he just wants to make another point.
But why? Who does that help?
No one.
To
That's
get himself
classic
fired?
Jose. Yeah. He'll just do it for the team longer term. Why is he playing Dyer now anyway? He's not a centre back.
True.
I feel a bit sorry for Dyer because he's not traditionally a centre back. He's been chucked in to play there. I mean, he was poor for the 2 first goals. 2 goals against Sheffield United. He just stood still, and it feels
like all CDMs should be able to play centre back though. Yeah. Kind of like Seiss did, and then Donker as well for Wolves. They both sort of just slotted in. Although it is a 3 at the back, I guess. But
I was going to say but maybe not everyone. Look at Fernandinho at City. He's been asked to play there, and City's defensive record hasn't been great.
Well, he's been
okay
when he's done it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you compare to what it was like when they had Laporte, I suppose he's been playing with Otamendi and Stones. But I don't know. I remember the game against Wolves at the Etihad, and I think he was found out a bit there. Yeah, so I think I'm either going to just do boring one transfer, Fernandes to Wan-Bissaka, or I'm going to wield the free hit, get Mahrez, get Pulisic, probably play with just one striker in Rashford, and then have a defensive line of something like Trent, Doherty, Alonso, and maybe Chilwell. But yeah, I haven't really given it too much thought yet. But the game week starts soon. It's tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow morning.
And one thing before we go on to like Cubs and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Jimenez.
I'm rabbiting on.
Obviously, he's great and reliable and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm worried what you're gonna say. What are you gonna say?
I mean, how many is he actually going to score over the next until the end of the season?
Kieran.
Arsenal at home, who have been a lot better defensively. Sheffield United away, which is obviously going to be a tough one to score against.
Yeah.
Everton at home, they're defensive, they're not too bad. Burnley away, defensive team. Crystal Palace home, defensive team. Wolves struggle to beat defensive teams.
Yeah.
So how many is Jimenez is actually going to score over those 4? They got Chelsea away in the last game. So
I'm doing some quick stats for you, all right? It's going to blow your mind. He scored 1 goal against Arsenal earlier this season. He got an assist against Sheffield United earlier this season. He scored against Everton earlier this season. That's the next 3, Kieran. What did he do against Burnley? He scored. He's returned in every one of the reverse fixtures of his next 4 games, keeping Jimenez in the team. Yeah.
I'm just saying that is a possibility that he comes up against defensive teams and he's not going to do that great.
Yeah. He blanked against Palace and Chelsea.
Okay, so Freddie thinks he's going to score as well, but there isn't many options, but there's just a sort of question mark over how good he's going to be.
Okay, no, I can see a trepidation a little bit. Why not Ings for the last few game weeks of the season? I think Ings has got 3 nice ones at the end.
Yes, although selling Jimenez has never really gone well for me. Whenever I have him on my team, he usually blanks. Whenever I sell him, he usually pulls. So maybe I should just keep him. But the Ings shout looks good. If I can get some money from Calvert-Lewin to Ings the last 3,
I'd rather sell Rashford at this rate.
Maybe
move Rashi on.
Yep. Okay, so should we go over the Cubs? And
yeah, let's do that. Cougar Cubs. I've got to make sure our microphones are both working. Chickadee check 1, 2. All right, I had Traore, didn't I? They're on screen now. If you want to chit chat it through.
Yes. So yeah, you went for Traore, who faced, I can't even remember, Villa. Now I don't think he even started, did he? So
no,
he got 1 point.
Pick. It was a great pick.
Strange pick, I think. Well, I guess Villa, but anyway. I went for Son, who played Sheffield United, and he got that last minute assist and a couple bonus. So yeah, 6 points for him. So totals wise, I'm now on 118. You're on 112, so a little bit of a lead again for me. But July, I'm on 6, and you're on 1. You won June quite handsomely. So yeah, who are you thinking for 33?
God.
Have you thought about anyone?
No, not really. Have you got some? I mean, I've got someone in mind, but I'm really worried again after Traore's benching. I'll tell you, Tammy Abraham is my pick. Because he started last time out. I know. And he started last time out, and I kind of feel like he's a good differential way into that Chelsea front line. Who's yours?
I'm just typing in the chat. Okay, so it's either Mahrez or St. Maximan. Both under 15% owned.
God, I should have got Mahrez.
I picked St. Maximan the week before, and he got a blank. And the only week he has blanked, which is funny. So let's go for Mahrez, 10.1%.
Can I change my mind?
Away.
Yeah, I can change my mind. I'm going to go Greenwood instead.
Okay, you don't think he might be benched, maybe?
I think
he's got 15% owned.
Green? Oh God, maybe not actually, because he's a bench warmer for people. No, I'll tell you what. I'll stick with Tammy.
I'm checking Greenwood a sec.
I'm so worried now.
He is under 15.
Oh,
so you can have Greenwood.
I'll have Greenwood. Yeah, okay. Please and thank you.
Jacko's here and pick Bowen. That's not a bad shout, honestly, Bowen.
All right, we'll go with Jacko and we'll pick Bowen.
Oh, it's all on Jack now.
Yeah, I like in the chat you posted something just then from your account that says "Get rid for Foden." That's been marked as spam, held for review. I'm gonna just approve that for you.
Yeah.
Hey, great. we've just cracked 100 people watching. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I see.
There's more people watching Boris's 5 o'clock roundup. Now then, what else are we doing? Manager of the week.
Manager of the week. Yes.
We're doing that. Ned Jones, Kieran.
Yeah, Ikadira Gay Man. I don't even know what his team name is. But it doesn't
great! Now I've got to put this on mature content now.
Sorry, it's pronounced Gueye? That one.
That's
the
his team name. Okay.
Everton one. Anyway, so you got 118 points, a game week rank of 381.
Ooh,
amazing.
Nice.
OR is 260k. So 226k up from 101k. So he's taking my place in the top 26k there. So well done, sir. Not bitter at all there. Yeah, obviously he had Pope, Wan-Bissaka, Anastax Maximan with 15, KDB, Bruno, Aubameyang with his captaincy of 32 points, Ings as well. Only 3 players blanked, but all the players he had basically hauled. So,
Okay.
Yeah, huge week for him.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well done. And obviously, Nathan Wollaston still at the top of the Cougars League with an 80 point this week. And I think he's in the top 200-ish overall, which is pretty good. So, yeah, nice.
That is good. There's millions of people in the FPL Cougars mini league. I'm amazed. I just checked on Nathan. He's 121st, so he's doing really good. I keep looking at it every week when it's stats update and think, oh god, I've got even lower. I'm in that went from 852 to 924, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that's lower than me in the FPL Cougars mini league because it makes me feel slightly better.
There's loads of people in there. So.
Yeah, it's good. I'm pleased everyone's enjoying it. And now, is there any more we need to chit chat about before we wrap up?
I don't know. Should we take a couple of questions? Maybe?
Yeah, we can answer some questions, can't we? When's our next time we're going to be recording? I even forget when this game week ends. It's a quick one, isn't it?
I'm not even sure.
I think it ends on Sunday, maybe. I hope someone will tell us. Oh, no, it ends on Monday. Spurs against Everton.
Okay, any questions, people, quickly?
Take as long as you want.
Okay, Rashford
questions.
Always does well against Bournemouth, says
Yeah.
DUK. Yeah, possibly. Like I said, I have been considering him, and I think it's possibly his turn to haul, but yeah, I think Rashford's better. Salah's better, so I'm just happy to own Rashford this week, and if he gets points, good.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Greenwood as a third Man United attacker? So I guess you're going instead of one defender. Who would be the other two? Like Martial Fernandes, maybe?
Bruno, yeah.
Why not? I think he will get rotated in some games, but he does seem to be first choice over James at the moment, and he is 4.4 million. So, yeah, at that price, doesn't really matter if he gets rotated.
Yeah.
I like him, but he just takes a spot from possibly a defender who's going to get probably 6 points most week, or Rashford or Martial. So it's just if you can justify that, really.
Yeah,
I think he's a good pick.
Patrick's asked best free hit options this week. I was looking at those a little bit earlier because it's something I might be doing. I think Pulisic, Mahrez, we've already sort of discussed. I also think Chelsea have been absolutely dire at keeping clean sheets, but Alonso is someone I'm looking at. Watford were woeful going forward against Southampton in the week.
Someone
relied
like
on that own goal, so he's got a chance.
Dunk in defence.
Yeah, up against Norwich. Maupai's got a good fixture. It's just trying to work out how much you want to, or if one of your free hit team really wants to be a Brighton forward or a Brighton defender. But there's a lot of good players out there this week. Mine would just be
Sheffield United against Burnley.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout as well.
Defense.
I'm hoping that one's going to be a 1-1, ends with a Basham and a Pope goal, and we'll see what happens.
Pope goal, God! If bloody Pope gets another clean sheet, I'm going to be so annoyed. He is though. He's nailed on for a clean sheet, and he's nailed on for a 10-pointer against fucking Sheffield United. And it's just
the guys won't know about Kieran's. Kieran rages a lot about Pope clean sheets. It was your birthday on Monday, and you were just so disappointed that Pope got his clean sheet, and yeah, it was. I just don't know why you just don't own him. Just bite the bullet and own him. He's expensive now. He's 5 million. He's probably going to be 5.5 next season. So I won't enjoy any more Pope 9 or 10 pointers. It's a shame. What other questions have we got in the chat? I feel like I'm going off piste. Triple captain.
Score prediction. Burnley. Oh, you said sorry. Oh. Yeah, carry on.
Triple captain Fernandes, Salah, or Martial. Who would you? I mean, I can't advise you anything because it's a big thing. But who would you pick, Kieran, if you had to use it? Gun to your head. Triple captain this week.
Well, considering I'm captaining Salah, then I would go for Salah.
Yeah, I'd go Salah as well. Yeah. Score prediction for Burnley, Sheffield. Oh yeah, 1-1.
Sakib saying Salah, Bruno, KDB for captaincy. Yeah, we both think Salah, but we think probably all three of them are good choices. Probably can't really go wrong.
No, agree. All right. Well, should we Ripley wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back. Let's just put our game week previews back up on screen before we end. We'll be back on probably Monday evening if the game week starts Tuesday, and we'll probably record before Tottenham against Everton. So Kieran and I will probably both be sat here thinking, oh my God, Dominic Calvert-Lewin better do something to salvage our game week. So look forward to that. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Enjoy Super Saturday tomorrow night. Or don't.
Yep.
Probably don't.
Everyone getting back out.
Yeah. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye from me. See you next time.
Yeah, cheers and good luck, everyone.
Bye.